presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Wisconsin.
Boy, what a day for afternoon baseball in Milwaukee. Temperatures have cooled down to the low 80s. And we've got the perfect food for you at Miller Park. It's the decisive game of this series between division rivals St. Louis and your Milwaukee Brewers. A couple of right-handers go at it in the finale. Adam Wainwright of the Cardinals and 23-year-old Tyler Thornburg, who's filling big shoes today for ace Zach Greinke. Hi, everybody. Jerry and Craig back on board with you here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. And speaking of big shoes, Ryan Braun not in the lineup for the Milwaukee Brewers today, so they're going to have to get this decisive game done without the league's home run hitter and second in RBIs as well, Jerry. But restrained that groin injury that he's had since spring training, and it kind of happened on a couple of occasions yesterday. Go back to the third inning, though, and what looked like just a routine play he's making to pick up a double.
Yeah, here's a ball hit off Jane. Ryan has to go to corner. It looks like he was trying to extend himself going after the ball, and when he went down, kind of felt a little bit of a twinge. You can see him going into the wall. He looked a little gingerly. Then the ball hit here by for a call. He's tried to start off a little bit. Right from the beginning, he knew he couldn't get that acceleration he needed. Knew something was wrong. Right away went to Ron Renneke, took himself out of the ball game.
So Ryan did not finish yesterday's game, won't play tonight, and this is what the Brewers miss without their big all-star slugger in there. Of course, the only Brewer hitting over 300, but he also leads the National League with those 26 home runs and is second in RBIs with 65. Well, the Brewers close out trying to get this win by putting the ball in a rookie's hands. Can Tyler Thornburg be a thorn in the Cardinals side today? B.A. and Rock take you the rest of the way here on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Miller Lite, because when friends come together, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. by Toyota. When you choose Toyota, you get a lot for less. Toyota. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T. Rethink possible. Beautiful Wednesday afternoon in Milwaukee. Corey Hart back in the starting lineup. Ryan Braun is not, but Corey Hart trying to extend a hitting streak. He's hit in 11 straight, hitting .378 during that streak. David Freese is in there for the Cardinals. See what he's done against the Brewers his last 18. How about Yadier Molina? He has been a thorn in the Brewers' side here lately. But the Cardinals without a couple of big bats in Carlos Beltran and Matt Holliday. Hi, everybody. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us. The notable names that are out of the lineup significant today. Ryan Braun is out, Holliday, Beltran. But the story today could be Tyler Thornburg, Rock. He gets his second big league start. Thornburg is a big prospect in the Brewers organization. He gets a chance against the heavy-hitting Cardinals. What should we expect from him today, though?
That's a big question. He's only pitched twice after being sent down. He made his start against the Blue Jays in mid-June, got sent down. They had their all-star breakdown in the minor leagues. He bumped his arm, and they put him on the disabled list for a couple of weeks. So he made one start in the minor leagues. He came up here and made one appearance out of the bullpen. Now, the two teams he's going to be making starts against, the Cardinals, heavy-hitting Cardinals, the Blue Jays, Aiken Phillips. His first start began very well. 5 innings, 1 run, but kind of ran out of gas. Was only able to get 1 out in the 6th inning. We'll see. He's going to be on a limited pitch count today.
Tyler Thornburg, maybe 4 or 5 innings, pitch count between 70 and 80. And he'll be making his 3rd career appearance in the major leagues, his 2nd career start. He's only 23 years of age. We'll see if the Brewers can put another series win under their belt. They're trying to make it 7 consecutive series without a loss. They've got that chance today against the Redbirds. Game 3 coming up next. Well, we've had 2 terrific games here, close ones. The Brewers lost the opener. They won last night. And now Tyler Thornburg, 23-year-old rookie pitcher, will get the ball once again, filling in for Zach Greinke. Brewers baseball today on Fox Sports Wisconsin. There is Mike Matheny, first-year skipper of the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals come in 4.5 back of the Cincinnati Reds. They are 3 games over 500. And Matheny's batting order brought to you by Piggly Wiggly with Fakal, Jay, and Craig at the top. David Freese, Lance Berkman, Yadier Molina in the middle with Matt Carpenter, Skip Schumacher, and Adam Wainwright rounding it out. No Beltran, no Matt Holliday. Tyler Thornburg, as Rock mentioned, he's made just 1 start since we last saw him a month ago here in the big leagues against the Blue Jays. And his first pitch is low, and away we go here at Miller Park.
Yep, his numbers out in the minor leagues off the charts. 8-1 with a 3.00 earned run average in Double-A, and 1-0 in Triple-A this year.
Thornburg hoping to use today as an opportunity to try to put a little routine back together on the mound. It has been disrupted since early June. He was actually suspended while pitching in Huntsville. He hit a batter. There was a bench clearing brawl, and he and the charging hitter were both suspended. He missed a start in late June because of that. And then the Brewers called him up. He made a start against the Blue Jays that Rock referenced in the open on the 19th of June. Pitched pretty well going into the 6th inning, and then ran into a roadblock. But his only start between that start against the Blue Jays and this one today was as a member of the Nashville Sounds in Memphis on the 4th of July. So he hasn't had a whole lot of work, and that routine has been disrupted a great deal in the last month.
And he only threw 66 pitches in that start down in the minor leagues.
As he walks Rafael Furcal to start it. Here's how the Brewers line up defensively. No Braun in the lineup, so Morgan in left, Gomez and Aoki joined him in the outfield. It's Ramirez, Bianchi, Weeks, and Hart around the horn, with Martin Maldonado doing the catching. And our Brewers defense. Todd Tischner is the home plate umpire. Tony Randazzo, Bob Davidson, and the crew chief, Brian Gorman, on the bases. John Jay takes strike 1 from Thornburg. Jay hitting .297. Former college teammates with Ryan Braun at Miami. Jay came in, got a big hit last night for the Cardinals, had an RBI double off Randy Wolf. He filled in for Matt Holliday after Holliday was injured.
A number of left-handed hitters in that Mike Matheny lineup today. 3 of them, or I should say 3 natural lefties and 2 switch hitters in the lineup.
Yeah, for Call and Berkman, the switch hitters. Lance Berkman making his first start of the series. Still a very troublesome offense, even without the big sluggers. Runner goes, and Maldonado wipes him clean. Call gunned down.
Not even close, even with a high throw. Thornburg doing a good job keeping Furcal close. Not a very big lead, not a very big jump, and it took him a while to get going. And even with the high throw, really not even close at second base. Very quick release by Martin Maldonado.
And one away. Eliminates the leadoff walk. John Jay fouls it back. A ball and 2 strikes.
All waiting for Furcal, and he tags himself out. Good job by Ricky. Staying right there at second base, not reaching out to get the baseball and having to bring the tag back to second.
Swing and a miss. Thornburg strikes out John Jay for out number 2.
Look at this curveball. Very nice pitch right on the outer half of the plate. Down in the strike zone. That's a good sign for Tyler Thornburg. Boy, that caught stealing really gave him a lot of confidence.
See our current conditions here in Milwaukee. It's 83 degrees. Feels like a normal summer day here in Milwaukee now. Hopefully that heat wave has passed. Just a beautiful day for baseball, though. Good crowd on hand to see this one, a matinee, and the final game of this series. And the Brewers can make it a winning series with a victory today. The last time Milwaukee lost a series at Miller Park was the first series in the month of June 1st through the 3rd against the Pirates. They haven't lost a series since that time. They are 5-0-1 in their last 6 home series. The only split came against the Miami Marlins, as Alan Craig sends that one high in the air, left center. There is Gomez. And Thornburg, a quick first inning. Good start for him. Brewers are coming up against Adam Wainwright. Take 2 out of 3 from the St. Louis Cardinals. Roenicke and his Brewers facing the Cardinals in the National League Championship Series a year ago. Here's his batting order today. Brought to you by Piggly Wiggly, with Aoki, Morgan, and Ramirez at the top. Hart, Weeks, and Maldonado in the middle. Gomez, Bianchi, and Thornburg rounded out. Adam Wainwright on the mound for the Redbirds. He is coming back from Tommy John surgery. And as you would expect, coming back from the ligament replacement surgery, it's been an up and down year for him.
Yep, inconsistent, making his 19th start. He has been able to get out there every 5th day. And when he's right, he can be one of the best in the business. He's had good success against Milwaukee in his career.
Facing Nori Aoki to start it. Wainwright is 7-9, a 4.62 ERA. He's coming off a loss in Cincinnati against the Reds, where he gave up 4 earned runs in 6 1/3. He was one of the game's premier pitchers prior to the injury, and that injury occurred last year in spring training prior to the season. Aoki fouls one back. Check the defense for the Cardinals today. Behind Wainwright, it's Carpenter, Jay, and Craig. And then Freeze, for call, Schumacher and Berkman go around the horn, with Yadier Molina doing the catching on our Cardinals defense. Slow roller back up the middle for call. Bobbles. Aoki safe. Was going to be a bang play, but I think the speed of Aoki made for call hustle a little more than he wanted to, and he cannot handle it.
And you figure that's going to be a base hit. He knew he had to be quick with it. Bobbled it, and Aoki, who gets out of the batter's box as quickly as any hitter in baseball, probably would have beaten that anyway. And we'll see how they score it. Regardless, it's a leadoff base runner for the Brewers.
Now, Furcal did commit an error last night, his 9th. And that will be an error on Furcal officially, E6. So errors in consecutive games for the All-Star shortstop.
Yeah, he's on his way to first base even before or right at the same time he makes contact. That's a tough scoring decision. That looked like it might have been a base hit anyway.
Nigel Morgan with Aoki at first, and he bounces one back up the middle, a base hit. Just got past Wainwright, and the Brewers in business to start this game. An error and a single, 2 on to start it against Adam Wainwright.
Well, you try to get to guys like this early before they settle in. Wainwright's always been that way. And Nigel Morgan not messing around. And the one thing Wainwright has done a good job of this year is getting ground balls. the 5th most ground ball outs in all the National League this year.
Not the big strikeout pitcher that he has been. Still has a good sinking fastball. There's a big breaking ball, a swing and a miss from Ramirez.
Yeah, pitch is the same for Wainwright. The fastball that'll sink. He'll cut the fastball and he'll throw that big sweeping curveball.
The numbers for Aramis Ramirez: 271 hitter with 10 homers, 54 driven in. He's second to Braun on the club in RBIs. He's been a good hitter in his career against Adam Wainwright. Ramirez is a .378 hitter against Wainwright throughout his career. Most of that coming as a member of the Chicago Cubs, with 45 career at-bats against Wainwright. That's a big sample size. He has a couple of home runs as well.
Well, Nyjer Morgan continues his good hitting against Wainwright, coming in at 7 for 14. So Ron Roenicke playing the matchups today, putting Nyjer in the lineup and already paying dividends.
2 on, nobody out. 0-2 to Ramirez, and that hit him and right on the elbow. The bases will be loaded, but we'll see how Ramirez comes out of this one. There's a tricky spot on that elbow.
And 6th time that Ramirez has been hit by a pitch. Well, an 0-2 fastball that Wainwright tried to put on the inside corner and just missed with it right on the back of the elbow.
Not a whole lot of protection there. That sleeve that Ramirez wears, that's not a pad, that's just a regular undershirt.
Last time that happened, he had to miss a few days.
And he's still trying to work through the pain. Athletic trainer Dan Wright is out there.
Was that about a month ago where he got a hit on the elbow? Had to miss 3 or 4 days. You hope that's not the case. Not when you have already Ryan Braun out of the lineup.
Nothing funny about that bone.
No.
He's going to try to stick it out today, but Ramirez, you can tell, is in extreme pain over there. And it won't get any better, let's put it that way. That is his gloved hand, not his throwing arm. Bases loaded, nobody out. Might have come at a price. We'll see if the Brewers can cash in. Corey Hart steps in. And he pulls one down the line. Foul. Just foul, says third base umpire Brian Gorman.
Well, he was right on it. Bounced a couple of times before it got to the bag. All it had to do was go over the bag. It didn't have to land in fair territory past the bag. And you see right there, look at a good call by Brian Gorman. Just barely. Yep.
No balls and a strike on Corey Hart. Broken back. That's going to fall. A base hit. Aoki scores. Here comes Morgan. The throw goes to third. Ramirez is safe. Morgan scores the run and everybody advances. 2-0 Brewers as Corey Hart breaks his bat but drops it into shallow center.
The Brewers giving the Cardinals a taste of their own medicine from last night. A lot of base hits like that for St. Louis in last night's ball game. Corey Hart getting a cut fastball up out over the plate. And because he broke his bat, didn't hit it all that hard, Nyjer Morgan able to score easy from second base. John Jay missed the cutoff man, allowing Corey Hart to get into scoring position.
It's a single and 2 RBIs for Hart, advancing on the throw. And Hart extending his hitting streak to 12 consecutive games now. Without Braun, the Brewers searching for run producers, and Hart has been just that. As Hart moves up in the batting order, so does Ricky Weeks. Hart hitting cleanup, and Ricky Weeks now in the 5-hole. 2 on with nobody out. And Weeks back up the middle. Wainwright pounces on that one for the first out.
Good base running by Aramis Ramirez.
First out of the game for Wainwright comes to the 5th hitter after 2 runs have scored.
That's about the only place you hit the baseball where you don't go with the infield back. Recognized it right away. Ramirez able to stay at third base.
Here's Martin Maldonado. Second and third, one away. Maldonado takes a ball. Maldonado at 279 coming in. What a surprise he has been. 5 homers, 18 driven in. Does have a hit in this series. Had a huge series against the Pirates over the weekend. Had 8 hits in that 3-game series against Pittsburgh. Getting a good look at the Brewers' minor league depth here in this game as you check this starting 9 for the Brewers with Tyler Thornburg on the mound and Maldonado behind the plate. Jeff Bianchi starting at shortstop today.
Maldonado has come up with some big RBIs so far this year. They really have to capitalize against a guy like Wainwright when he gives you an opportunity this early in the game.
And a liner right to for call. Throw to third, and Ramirez is just back. Tough break for Maldonado. Mike Matheny brought his infield in. And instead of a 1-hopper to the shortstop in regular depth that might have led to a run, instead it's an out, and Wainwright a chance to get out of it.
That's the way it goes. The hardest hit ball of the inning ends up being an out. This game's not fair. Nobody said it was. Top spin liner for call is able to make the catch.
You know, just as Maldonado stepped in, Matheny brought his infielders in. And it paid off for him. So 2 men are out. Here's Carlos Gomez making his 3rd consecutive start of the series. And he bounces one. Backhanded for call. Long throw. And Berkman's off the bag. Ramirez scores. Here comes Hart. And he will score. The Cardinals kicking it all over the field in the 1st inning.
I'm not sure what Lance Berkman was doing there. He couldn't keep his foot on the bag. Gomez was safe, and then I don't know how the ball actually popped out of his glove, ended up going high in the air. And heads up base running by Corey Hart to score. So after the Cardinals commit 2 errors yesterday, already 2 errors in the 1st inning. There it goes. I'm not sure how you do that, but tried to sweep tag, but that's not where the ball falls out. He hits the ground and he brings the glove up and almost as if he's playing highlight. I'm not sure how that happens.
That's just ugly any way you size it up. And for Berkman, who is making just his 2nd start since coming back from knee surgery, a play that will end up on a blooper reel. And the Brewers taking full advantage. Great base running by Corey Hart. He never gave up on the play. Took a big wide turn around third base, and once he saw the ball pop free, which is not something you're ever expecting, he was in progress and he's able to score. So 2 errors on that play and 3 errors in the inning for the St. Louis Cardinals. It's 4-0 in the 1st inning. Jeff Bianchi at the plate. There goes Gomez. Molina's throw on the bag, not in time. Safe is the call. Oh, everything going right for the Brewers today.
Well, it's early yet, but you got to keep the pressure on this Cardinal ball club. These guys can swing the bats. Talk about a huge error by Rafael Furcal. That's 2 errors in this inning for Furcal. And he had one last night. 3 errors in 2 games for the Cardinals shortstop, who's ordinarily sure-handed.
Now 11 errors on the season. Stolen base number 13 for Gomez as Bianchi bounces to Schumacher, and this inning is over for the Cardinals finally. But the Brewers score 4 on 2 hits and 3 Cardinal errors. errors in the first inning, and the Brewers taking full advantage. 4-0 is the lead. Tyler Thornburg. A very good first inning. It was a 3-batter inning for Thornburg after issuing a leadoff walk. There was a caught stealing in that mix. Maldonado guns down Rafael Percal trying to swipe second base.
After the caught stealing, it looked like he calmed down nicely. He started throwing strikes, the curveball, the fastball off the end of the bat right there for Alan Parrish. So the Brewers catcher, with that caught stealing, really calmed down that young pitcher out there on the mound.
13 pitch first inning, and now Thornburg will go to work against David Freese, hitting in the cleanup spot today. Freese, Berkman, and Molina. And a fastball by him. None of these Cardinal hitters have seen Tyler Thornburg. And obviously he's matching up for the first time against St. Louis, just his second major league start. Thornburg started the season last season with the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers just up the road in Appleton in A-ball. From the Midwest League to the big leagues in a calendar year. Finished the season at Double-A. He was one of the top pitchers in the Brewers minor league system last year. He and Mike Fiers thought of as two of the top hurlers in the upper levels, and of course Thornburg and Mike Fiers in the big leagues first as Freese rips one to left, and that one's gone. The home run ball has been a problem for Tyler Thornburg here in the major leagues.
He gave up 4 home runs in his first start against the Blue Jays. Made a relief appearance during the homestand and gave up a home run in an inning of work. So 6 home runs allowed now by Thornburg, getting too much of the plate with his fastball on this pitch. Middle in, up in the zone, and right away you knew that ball was out of the ballpark. David Freese gets all that one up into the second deck and left.
Well, Thornburg has just 8 1/3 major league innings and those 6 homers already. Curveball, cue shot. Thornburg pounces, and the throw is in time. Thornburg was an outstanding outfielder in college, and he moves around very well on the mound. He's a center fielder at the College of Charleston. Carsoup.com email the booth question: who do you think is the best catcher in the game currently? Jason in Watertown wants to know.
Well, Jason's been watching these 2-3 games, particularly the first 2 games of this series. You'll know who we think is the best catcher in the big leagues. That's him right there.
And I'm guessing that producer Chris Withers agrees, since he dropped that question, and just as Yadier Molina is coming up to the plate.
You could
throw, and I would agree with you too.
Just throw out the offense. I mean, he's one of the better hitting catchers in the game. Just what he does defensively behind home plate. The physical aspects of catching and the psychological know-how to get pitchers through games, and just he runs the show behind home plate defensively for the Cardinals.
He's played in all but 11 of the Cardinals games this year. Been used as a pinch hitter occasionally, but he catches a lot. He's played in 80 games of the 91 the Cardinals have played leading up to today's game, and he starts the day game after the night game. Strike call. Thornburg rings him up. Molina does an about face as Tyler Thornburg strikes out his second Cardinal.
Hey fans, purchase a Corey's Corner ticket package for $35 that includes your outfield ticket and a Corey Hart t-shirt. A portion of the proceeds will benefit the American Heart Association. Visit brewers.com/Hart. That's Hart, H-A-R-T.
As in Corey Hart. 2 gone for Matt Carpenter. Carpenter hitting .284. Versatile player for Mike Matheny. Today getting the start in left field. We've seen him in both corner outfield spots. He's played third base, can also play first. He spelled Berkman a great deal when Berkman was on the disabled list.
And did a heck of a job. He's got 15 home runs. Hitting over 280. Not a bad fill in at first. Wherever you need him. And no batting gloves. You have to love that.
Old school. Reminds me of one of the Cardinal coaches, John Mabry. Slaps that one down the left field line. Morgan cuts it off, and Carpenter is on with a base hit. He's done a nice job going the other way. Carpenter, even his outs, he's had a couple of line drive outs over there. Looks like he has a good approach at the plate.
They have a 2-2 pitch, and Carpenter, waits on it nice. You can see Maldonado wants it away, and that's where Thornburg put it. Might have left it up a little bit, but good approach by Carpenter to get the base hit.
So here is Skip Schumacher. Schumacher starting at second here today. He was in center field for the opener. I was just thinking about Yadier Molina, and you wonder, Rock, he does like to play a lot, and he's typically one of those workhorse catchers, but you wonder if Molina, because it has been so hot here the last couple of days, Schumacher singles. The fact that Beltran and Holiday both out of the lineup, you wonder if those two were in, would Molina take the day off today? We don't know that, but you wonder about his ability to bounce back.
Now, if anybody knows about that, it would be Mike Matheny as manager, and Matheny was the same kind of a guy. He wanted to play every day. And there might be a little bit of Adam Wainwright wanting Molina behind home plate for his start too.
Yeah, that's a good point. So Wainwright will hit here in the second inning. Third hit of the inning. Started with a freeze homer, and then back-to-back singles by Carpenter and Schumacher. We'll be keeping a close eye on the pitch count today for Tyler Thornburg. There's Wainwright. Skies one out to center field, and Gomez. Side retired. Cardinals get a run on David Freese's 14th homer of the year. It's 4-1. An adductor strain. Now the Brewers without Braun in the lineup, putting together some offense in the first inning with some help from the Cardinals defense. St. Louis committing 3 errors in the inning. Ramirez hit by a pitch to load the bases. Corey Hart had a broken bat 2 RBI single. That opened the scoring. And then 2 more runs came in on a throwing error by shortstop Rafael Furcal. Strange play by Berkman. His ball just popped out of his glove. And Hart, with good base running, able to score the 4th run. Kind of a wild start for Milwaukee. Frustrating start for the Cardinals. Team that hangs their hat on solid defense. Tyler Thornburg will bat. Has a double. As his only major league hit against the Toronto Blue Jays. Mentioned he was a two-way player in college. Tyler Thornburg. He was a good hitter. Terrific outfielder. Didn't feel like he was going to be able to hit enough to be a professional position player, so he went to the mound. But he does handle the bat well, and it's one of those guys that has an idea, not just at the plate, but also on the bases when he does get on.
You never know, that experience as a hitter may very well have been an asset to him out there on the mound. You know, sometimes pitchers, particularly young pitchers, give hitters too much credit, and realizing how difficult it is to hit, the tendency is maybe be a little bit more aggressive out there.
Played his college ball at Charleston Southern University, and Wainwright blows him away with a fastball. So out number 1, Wainwright's first strikeout. Brewers trying to put something together here. They have won 13 of their last 20 games at Miller Park, and trying to win a series once again here with a victory today. Starting pitching's been great. The offense is back intact, it looks like. Rock, they're averaging nearly 6 runs per game in their last 20 games at this ballpark.
And they're starting to play a little bit like they did all of last year here at Miller Park. Won the most games of any National League team at home. Starting to find that magic that they had a year ago.
Milwaukee will embark on a road trip starting Friday, a day off tomorrow, and then the Brewers go to Cincinnati and Philadelphia. A 6-game road trip before returning home next week to face the Washington Nationals. Aoki pulls one foul. Next time the Brewers will be back at Miller Park will be on the 26th of July. Starts a 4-game series with the Nationals and then a 3-game series with the Astros. So a 7-game homestand coming up following the road trip. Strike called. Aoki is rung up. Back-to-back strikeouts for Adam Wainwright. This MLB on Fox season, Fox Sports is proud to support Boys and Girls Clubs of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens. To learn more, please visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports. Two gone for Nyjer Morgan. Morgan had a single against Wainwright in the first inning. Morgan now 8 for 15 career against Adam Wainwright. Interesting that Renicky today, with Braun out, has Morgan in left field and Aoki in right. When Braun was injured yesterday, it was just the opposite. He put Aoki into left field and Morgan was in right field. Bouncing ball to second base. Wainwright comes back with a 1-2-3 inning. 4-1 Brewers. We go to the bottom, or rather the top of the third. 2 in the books here at Miller Park. We go to the third inning, and one of the prize prospects in the Brewers minor league system, Tyler Thornburg, is on the mound. And joining us here, one of the prize prospects in the Brewers front office, Zach Manassian, the director of pro scouting for the Milwaukee Brewers. How about that build-up?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah,
you deserve it. The boy wonder, Zach Manassian, is here, and we'll get into all things Brewers minor league system because there's a lot of great stuff going on. But let's first talk about Tyler Thornburg, and you've obviously seen him a great deal. And tell us something about Tyler Thornburg as he makes his start here today. The first ball bounces out.
First time I saw him was last year in the Futures game. And I remember what impressed me about him. He was the one pitcher there who threw 3 pitches for strikes. So you'll see a lot of pitchers go to that game and they're rearing back trying to throw as hard as they can and maybe have one secondary pitch. And Tyler was very poised, very relaxed on the mound, was not intimidated by the situation, the surroundings, and went right after guys. And he's got 3+ pitches and dominated in Double-A this year and has worked his way all the way up to the big league. So he's definitely a guy we're excited about. His future is bright with us.
It's always that balance, I suppose, bringing a guy up too early. You worry about his confidence. Thornburg's given up 6 home runs already at the major league level, but mentally, those I talked to, including you, he's in a position where maybe you're not so much worried about that with this young pitcher.
Yeah, I think that's one of his strengths is he can take those lumps and he gets right back on the mound and goes after guys. And it's big because a lot of young pitchers, you just see them come up here and just a natural maturation. They're going to struggle early. They're going to go through it, and you just have to live with it and let them take those lumps. And you hope the end result, they're stronger and they're better pitchers for it.
Yeah, you got to be real happy with the way Mike Fiers has come up here, and you hesitate to use the word dominate, but he has dominated in his starts so far this year.
Yeah, he's a different look guy. I remember watching Josh Colmenter last year, and Brewers fans probably know what he's been able to do against us. He has a little bit of the same pitches a little bit of the same way that Colmenter does. So we talked about it in the front office that maybe he could come up here and be that type of pitcher, and he's been very impressive. He stepped in, no problems at all, and he's another guy who's aggressive in the zone, goes after guys, and not intimidated out there.
Well, here are a couple of guys that we wanted to get your thoughts on because we've heard about Mark Rogers. He's now come back. He's made a couple of very good starts lately for the Nashville Sounds, and Willie Peralta, who the Brewers saw earlier this year, and he's made quite a turnaround in the minor leagues right now. He's won 4 of his last 6 starts. What can you tell us about those two?
Yeah, both guys have really kind of turned the corner here late. I think it's important with all these pitching prospects. We always have to be patient. See the guy we're facing on the other side today, Adam Wainwright. He got to AAA with the Cardinals, and he really struggled to get a year of an ERA over 5 and a year of an ERA in the high 4s. And so we try to be patient with these guys. And you look at Willie and Mark in particular, they both went through their struggles early this year, and now they're starting to find it. And Mark coming back from the injuries that he's had, and now he's starting to show the good velocity again. Definitely very encouraging for both guys, and a big part of it is just trusting the scouts who see those players and your player development staff. And both guys, our player development staff and scouts who have seen them, have always said these guys can be productive big league pitchers.
Zach Manassian is with us, director of pro scouting for the Brewers.
The thing that's got to be encouraging, Zach, is with 3 free agents on the starting rotation right now. It's got to be comforting to know you have some guys down in the minor leagues, and you have some guys here that are ready with Milwaukee, young guys that can fit right in.
Yeah, you always want to build as much depth as you talk about. Doug talks about that a lot, depth and flexibility. And we're always looking ahead, trying to plan as far ahead as we can. So it's nice to have those options, and maybe guys end up being relievers or they end up staying as starters. You never know. They'll tell us that. But it's definitely very comforting when you do have those options in the minor leagues.
2-2 to Alan Craig. Zach Manassian is with us. He's scoured the minor league system, comes from a baseball family. His brother Perry is a scout as well, and the head of an operation with the Toronto Blue Jays. And I think it's your first time on the air with us.
Yeah, first time here.
We get a lot of our information from Zach, but we thought we'd let him speak for himself today. So.
Yeah.
It's great to have you.
Not pretend we have come up with the information. Right. Actually, let Zach take credit for it.
Always reference Zach. So as we look through this system here, and the Brewers, you guys have you know, a tough couple of weeks here to make decisions. Anything that's on your mind about what you want to see for the big league team in these next couple of weeks?
I think everything's on my mind right now. I pretty much lose what day it is. So there's always different things rumbling around in the office and with the scouting department. We just try and be prepared as possible.
Allen Craig sends that one deep to left, and that one's gone. Another home run for the Cardinals. Allen Craig with his second, or rather the Cardinals' second home run. And Craig with number 14 on the year. It's now 4-2. So Tyler Thornburg has now given up 7 home runs at the major league level. Rock, anything in specific here you're seeing?
Well, you see, mistakes with the fastball. That's the key. When Thornburg puts himself in a fastball count, that pitch down and in. I mean, that's ordinarily not a bad spot for a right-handed hitter. But again, all the home runs that he's given up have been on the fastball. Zach, would you agree that the fastball for Thornburg relatively straight?
Yeah, it is, and I think with shorter guys, which Tyler is, it's important always trying to get downhill as much as possible. You know, it's tougher to do that for shorter guys, and sometimes when you lose that plane, you elevate the ball, and it leads to a couple more home runs here and there. So it's definitely something that'll probably be a little bit of a work in progress for him.
Now you think about the plane of the fastball with a guy like Thornburg at 5'10", 5'11", and then a guy like Adam Wainwright who's 6'7", so already it changes things. A lot of comparisons to Tim Lincecum as far as the way Thornburg pitches, the mechanics. It's not quite as dramatic as Lincecum, but there is a little bit to that as he walks David Freese. Anybody else come to mind as you watch him pitch?
Yeah, definitely Lincecum-ish is always the guy that we talk about. Not only in his delivery, but the way he goes about it. Very aggressive out there.
Martin Maldonado with a quick trip to the mound. As Thornburg got the first 2 out relatively quickly. A home run to Craig. A Miller Park home run that found its way into the Brewers bullpen. And now Thornburg will deal with Lance Berkman.
And Zach, your thoughts on Martin Maldonado? Struggled offensively down in the minor leagues this year, but had a pretty good offensive year last year. I mean, how do you explain this kind of offense?
Yeah, sometimes there's no explanation. Doug was telling a story the other day about Mike Pagliarulo with the Yankees. He was in AAA, and they needed a defensive third baseman, and so they brought up Pags because he could field the ball, and he ends up staying in the big leagues for double-digit years, a decade, and hits, and turns out to be a decent player. So sometimes just being challenged can bring out the best in guys, and Maldy's definitely stepped up, and he's had an opportunity here, and he's made the most of it. It's been fun to watch. We all knew he could defend and he could throw, and I'd be lying if I told you he'd be sitting here today hitting 290. but we're excited about having him. You can never have enough catching depth. So he's been a very nice surprise with the bat.
Ball and a strike on Lance Berkman, inside for a ball. Anything else going on in the minor leagues we should know about? How about the guys at the lower levels, the guys that are just getting their career started?
Yeah, we've really excited about Tyrone Taylor, our second rounder we took out of California high schools. Played very well in Arizona, so we challenged him moving up to Helena, and he's continued to play well there. So our scouts, our amateur staff all saw an athletic guy with some upside, and he's responded here early. He's played very well. He can run. He's a center fielder. Get excited about guys like that because with the tools that they have, you dream on them, and they could be better than just your average big league player. So it's still going to take a while for all these guys. They're going to go through their struggles, and we know that, but we're excited about him. Clint Coulter is, I think our guys are excited about his power. With catching, there's so much. Rock can probably talk about this more than I can. So much you can learn, especially just starting. So I think learning all that and just getting acclimated to pro ball is as important as anything for him.
Yeah, the number of games I think for him is going to be a big adjustment. He didn't play that much in high school this year. And yeah, he's got a lot to learn, but a big kid that has some pretty good power.
Yeah, Clint Coulter, the Brewers' first pick in this year's draft. Big catcher out of the state of Washington. Thornburg 3-2 on Berkman. Runner goes, and Berkman takes ball 4. Didn't miss by much. Back-to-back walks after the home run, and now the Cardinals putting up a significant threat with one of their hottest hitters coming up in Yadier Molina.
Yeah, really, natural for a young pitcher to go out here and give up a couple of home runs and then try and be a little bit too fine with his pitches. One thing this Cardinal team does is they make you work. They don't strike out much. They will take pitches. They walk. And these guys, these veteran hitters, they make you throw strikes. They don't mess around.
Thornburg with a good curveball for a strike. By the way, Jonathan Lucroy is scheduled to start a rehab tomorrow in Wisconsin and Appleton for the T-Rats. So if you want to check on some of the Brewers minor league talent, that might be a good reason to make the way up to Appleton tomorrow. The Brewers are off, and Lucroy will be in the lineup, and you can get a look at some of the young talent in the Midwest League with the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. What's the plan for Lucroy moving forward? He's going to play a few days.
Play a few days. I think we'll see how he's feeling, and I'm not sure the exact timeline, but I think 4 or 5 days is what we talked about. Hopefully getting him back.
Could see him back on the next homestand, Lucroy, as Molina pops this one up, and it will stay playable as Maldonado makes the catch. That's a big out. Stranding two. Zach Manassian, thanks for being with us, man. Great to visit with you. He is a very smart man with a wealth of knowledge. Thanks for coming on, Zach. Thanks. By Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. Aramis Ramirez leads off. First pitch swinging, and it's down for a hit. Ramirez with a double. Jumping on the first pitch he sees from Adam Wainwright. 29th double of the year. Ramirez is tied for second in the league in doubles with David Wright.
Jumping on a first pitch curveball, not a bad one at that. It had the plate, but it was down. Look at Ramirez able to go down and hook it. Not many guys can hit that ball that hard in that location, but Ramirez able to do it.
Just don't see a lot of hitters that swing at first pitch breaking balls. And I'm sure Wainwright's throwing that pitch as what they call a get over curveball to get strike one, but Ramirez made him pay for it. Now Corey Hart, who drove in 2 runs with a single in the first inning. 4-2 now is the score. Cardinals have hit 2 solo homers.
Now there are hitters that go up there and look location, and really doesn't matter to them what the pitch is. But Ramirez, look how far out in front his hands are, his bat is. There's the barrel of the bat. The bat makes contact here. Look at the hands. Ordinarily, you're not going to be able to keep that ball fair when the barrel end of the bat is that far in front of the hands. That's just the opposite of your inside out approach.
Well, Ramirez was hit by a pitch in the first inning, and good that he's able to stay in the game. Looks like he's put on a little protective padding on that elbow, that left elbow. Hart, a swing and a miss on a slider from, or a curveball from Wainwright. Wainwright throws that spike curveball. I noticed Fernando Salas last night throwing it the same way, with the index finger dug into the laces. Has some extreme break on that breaking ball, does Adam Wainwright. Tried another one, gets away from Molina, and Ramirez to third base. Molina looks a step slow today, not just at the plate but behind the plate as well.
Now, as good as he is, I mean, he is human and he can get a little bit tired. It has been hot here in Milwaukee, although it's only in the mid-80s today. I think it's hot here. It's really hot in St. Louis where they've been playing.
Yep. 3-2 pitch. Down goes Corey Hart. And a big strikeout for Wainwright. Now, Brewers Live is going on the road this weekend to celebrate family fun at Wisconsin Dells. Jerry Augustine and Craig Kashawn will be there for a first-hand experience at the Dells, and it all starts Friday 5:30 p.m. live from Marley's, and continues Saturday and Sunday live from Noah's Ark Water Park. That'll be a good time. We'll be in Cincinnati for that. Runner at third with one out, and Weeks a swing and a miss.
A lot of curveballs from Wainwright, particularly first pitch curveballs. That's because first time through, the Brewers jumping all over fastballs early in the count.
There's a big run for the Brewers to pick up. Scored 4 in the first. Only one of those was earned after 3 Cardinal errors in the first inning. Ricky Weeks bounced out to Wainwright in that first inning. It's a pretty good play by Wainwright at 6'7", just reached up and picked one out of the air. Cardinals bring their infield halfway in, and Weeks swings and misses.
Cutter has more confidence in his breaking pitches, the cutter and the curveball right now, than the fastball. That happens.
Well, this is a spot where you need contact. A lot of ways to score this run from third. Wainwright looks for a strikeout here. 1-2, and Weeks lays off. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Ricky Weeks.
Curveball just doesn't have the same snap on it as it did before he got hurt, but that's natural, and that'll come back, you'd think.
Wainwright missed all of last season with Tommy John surgery, the ligament replacement surgery. That was a good take. Full count now to Ricky Weeks. A lot of breaking stuff from Wainwright.
He's got first base open. Nothing to think that he's going to give Ricky a fastball here.
Ramirez below average speed at third. And Weeks strikes out.
Yep, and he gained the fastball right down the middle. Wow. Thursday, August 16th is a Time Warner Cable Customer Appreciation Game here at Miller Park. Bring last month's Time Warner billing statement to the Miller Park box office for a buy one get one free Terrace ticket offer.
2 big strikeouts for Wainwright with a runner at third base.
I think Ricky Weeks was thinking the same thing I was. First base open, full count, but he threw one right down the middle.
Now it's up to Maldonado with 2 outs, and he fouls one back. Well, These are the kind of opportunities you don't want to let go by. A leadoff double. Ramirez ended up at third on a wild pitch with nobody out, and now could take a 2-out hit. Oh, and 2. Martin Maldonado. He's proven to be a good breaking ball hitter in his brief time in the big leagues. See what he gets here from Wainwright. 0-2. Tried a fastball that missed. And a good block from Molina. Count evens at 2-2. Wainwright, prior to the injury, when he was at the top of his game a couple of years ago, when he made a run at a Cy Young Award, he threw 95, 96 miles an hour. He was comfortably 92, 93, and then could crank it up. Had that great breaking ball, one of the best in the big leagues. Strike called, outside corner. Maldonado is barking at the home plate umpire. And Wainwright strikes out 3 in a row with a runner at third base to end the inning. Tyler Thornburg back on the mound. He starts his 4th inning of work. Be paying close attention to him here today. Pitch count will be limited somewhat as Thornburg has made just 1 start in a month. AT&T trivia question: which 3 active MLB pitchers have more career saves than Frankie Rodriguez? And K-Rod with career save number 293 yesterday. Well, he worked out of a mess. First 2 had reached. He had runners at second and third. It was first and third, nobody out. Then second and third with 1 out, and he was able to get through it and notch the save and preserve a 3-2 Milwaukee win yesterday.
And doing it in typical K-Rod fashion, right? Never a doubt. Second and third, 1 out, strikeout, pop up.
While pitching for the Mets when he was closing games in New York, when he would come into a game, K-Rod, it was always stated that here comes 20 minutes of terror. And he did the job last night, and the Brewers needed that victory in last night's game. Monday night, the Brewers led 2-0 with 2 outs in the Cardinal ninth, and St. Louis scored 3 runs, all with 2 outs. and 2 strikes, and they were able to steal one from the Brewers on Monday. So it was good for the club to bounce back. Got 2 terrific starts in this series by Giovanni Gallardo and Randy Wolf. And really the starting pitching has been quite the story for the Brewers as they pass the baton to each other. Thornburg today is starting for Zach Greinke, who will be pushed back what will total 9 days. He'll next start Tuesday in Philadelphia. Matt Carpenter leading off for the Cardinals here in the 4th. He singled his last time up, opposite field base hit.
And you look at these 2 teams. I mean, offensive oriented, a lot of home runs. Who would have thought? And with the Cardinals being the best offensive team in the National League, a couple of 3-2 games.
Go figure.
Go figure.
Thornburg has given up 4 hits, 2 of those home runs through his first 3 innings. And Carpenter takes a called strike 3. And he's barking at Todd Tishner a little bit.
Well, time now for our GMC keys to the game. The Brewers with a 4-run first inning. A couple of RBIs by Corey Hart, and Gomez thought to be an inning-ending ground ball to Furcal, an error by him, and then an error by Lance Berkman allowing the 4th run to score. Tyler Thornburg continues to have home run problems. Giving a solo shot to both David Freese and Alan Craig. Brewers up 4-2.
Skip Schumacher with 1 away. Schumacher had a base hit, a single to center field in the 2nd inning. Thornburg has given up 4 hits. He has issued 3 walks. Got to be patient with Tyler Thornburg. He's a great young talent, probably in the big leagues a year too soon, but the Brewers, they need the support right now in their starting rotation. Thornburg was actually called up to pitch out of the bullpen. And with a fastball that is 96, 97 miles an hour, Roenicke felt like he needed some velocity down there to try to set things back in order in the bullpen. And sure enough, he made 1 appearance, and right back into the rotation he goes.
And the Brewers bullpen a bit short now that Thornburg is in the rotation. Did not replace anybody in that bullpen when it was decided that he was going to make a start.
John Axford is available today. He was not yesterday. Essentially, the Brewers played that game yesterday -2 in their bullpen. That's why it was so imperative that Randy Wolf go deep into that game, and he went 6 2/3.
Yep, only 5 relievers. That's like the old days.
Full count pitch, and Schumacher lifts it in the air. Morgan wants it.
That's a nice job.
Down.
Nice job right there. Down 3-0 in the count.
Comes back to retire the 8th place hitter. Time now to take a look at our Jimmy John's high-speed delivery. Adam Wainwright topping out at 93. Thornburg at 94. Thornburg's a guy who has more velocity in him, but as we've talked about during the broadcast today, he hasn't pitched that much in the last month. And that forearm injury that he had that put him on the DL while he was in the minor leagues was a non-baseball related injury. He had bumped it. It's kind of like a knot on his forearm, and so the Brewers were looking at reasons to maybe limit his innings anyway, and they just decided to shut him down for 2 weeks. And then there were all-star breaks in the minor leagues and the all-star break in the major leagues, so he really hasn't pitched a lot. As Adam Wainwright singles, giving up a hit to the pitcher. A good hitting pitcher.
On a 0-2 pitch, a curveball that he left up in the zone. Wainwright ordinarily a pretty good hitting pitcher, but hey, a year off. He struggled at the plate a little bit this year. That's the last thing you want to throw to a pitcher, a off-speed pitch up in the zone, particularly on a 0-2 count.
The 5th hit for the Cardinals. Back to the top of the order now, and for Call. Call walked in the first. He was caught stealing. Grounded out to first base in the 3rd inning. Furcal had such a great run for the Cardinals last year and did most of his damage against the Brewers last season. He hit 7 home runs as a Cardinal after the trade from the Dodgers. 5 of those 7 came against Milwaukee. As he rips that one down the right field line and foul. 2-2 now on Furcal. And Furcal just kept it going this year. After a terrific postseason for St. Louis, as you see that one hit the sidewall.
And breaking ball up and in, and just couldn't keep it fair. Yeah, Thornburg at 84 pitches. This might be it for him.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Furcal. Left center, long run. Gomez will track it down. Too much speed. Tyler Thornburg is through 4. The Brewers have the lead 4-2 coming up in the bottom of the 4th.
Cardinals in the bottom of the 4th. Time to check in with the crew in the community. On Sunday, July 29th, Brewers Wives will be hosting the 2nd annual Grand Slam Golden Mixer event at Stone Fire Pizza Company in New Berlin in support of the Foundation for Children with Cancer. This fun, family-friendly event will give fans the opportunity to interact with Brewers players, coaches, and their families. By providing direct financial support, families are given a greater chance to focus on their child's treatment and recovery. For more information on how to purchase tickets, visit Brewers.com. Brian?
All right, Telly, thanks. As we move ahead to the bottom of the 4th on a sunny day requiring plenty of sunshades here in Wisconsin. It's a great day for baseball today. Temperature in the mid-80s. Got a good crowd on a matinee Wednesday. And the Brewers a chance to win the series against the St. Louis Cardinals. 4-2 Milwaukee. All 4 runs coming in the first inning. Only one of them earned against Wainwright. 3 Cardinal errors. As Carlos Gomez leads off. Nice running catch for Gomez to finish the inning in the 4th. Wainwright getting a lot of swings and misses. He's had a good breaking ball today. His defense let him down in the first inning, but he just wiggled out of a jam in the 3rd after a leadoff double by Aramis Ramirez.
And a lot of strikeouts for Wainwright. He's only allowed the 1 fly ball out. That was that line drive to Furcal off the bat of Maldonado in the first inning. And coming in, we knew that he was going to get a lot of ground balls. That's what he does. Cut fastball, the sinker. And he does a good job keeping the curveball down.
Strike called. He hits the outside corner. Wainwright's getting stronger and stronger. He has now struck out the last 4 hitters he's faced. Last inning it was Ramirez on a first pitch breaking ball. He doubled. 1 hopper off the wall. He eventually went to 3rd on a wild pitch by Wainwright. So there he was, 90 feet away with nobody out, and then Wainwright strikes out Hart, Weeks, and a backwards K to Maldonado to end the inning.
Yep, all 3 strikeouts on cut fastballs. So he struck out the last 4 straight.
And now Jeff Bianchi.
That's why 4 runs in the first inning. That was important for the Brewers, because once this guy settles down, he gets very tough.
And he is just pouring in the strikes now. Quickly 0-2 on Bianchi. Bianchi making just his 2nd career major league start. Was a good hitter down in the minor leagues, splitting time between AA and AAA. He hit his way to the big leagues. Made his first big league start on Sunday against the Pirates. He's looking for his first major league hit. Bianchi combined between AA and AAA this year hit .319 in 70 total games. Most of those games coming at AAA Nashville. Down he goes. Adam Wainwright with 5 consecutive strikeouts.
Hey, the next Brewers homestand starts with a visit from the first place Washington Nationals and Bryce Harper. The series starts on Thursday, July 26th, and runs through Sunday the 29th. For tickets, call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com. See how the Nationals won yesterday? Wild pitch.
Thornburg breaks his bat, and an easy out at 3rd base. 1-2-3 inning for Wainwright.
Still out there as his pitch count nears 90. And today's time of the game winner, Breakers in West Salem. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and our good friends at Miller Lite.
Let's take you back to our AT&T trivia question, and we're asking which 3 active MLB pitchers have more career saves than Frankie Rodriguez. We're talking active now. Mariano Rivera hurt, but still active. And then Francisco Cordero, former Brewer closer, and Jason Isringhausen.
I forgot about Izzy. Had the other 2, though.
Isringhausen hasn't filed papers yet.
There's a big difference, big spread between first and second there, huh?
Yep. Well, Francisco Rodriguez with the save last night, just his second as a Milwaukee Brewer. Isringhausen, by the way, still active with the Angels, if you were wondering. After a year with the Mets last year.
Rivera coming back, you think? Probably.
Yes, he is. And the chatter is that he might come back this year. There's a chance he could be available at the end of the season, the way his rehab is coming along.
Yankees are doing just fine without him, though.
And Rafael Soriano has been fantastic closing games for the Yankees. Now, when K-Rod was traded to the Brewers, it was Isringhausen who took over the closer's role in New York for Terry Collins last season. There's a swing and a miss. John Jay strikes out.
Off-speed pitch right there. Nice. Yeah, change up that time.
Well, in case you missed it, Francisco Rodriguez announces the closer prior to the game, and then a save opportunity presented itself. He gave up a double to David Freese to start the inning. And then the next batter, Yadier Molina, singled, so he was in the deep waters quickly, but then a strikeout of Schumacher. And then he got Descalso to pop up before finally finishing off the ball game, retiring a Furcal to end it, and the Brewers winning the ball game last night 3-2. It was intense here in Miller Park, and a very quiet crowd after those first 2 hits in the 9th. Alan Craig, who homered off Thornburg in the 3rd inning, a 2-out home run. It's a key inning for Tyler Thornburg, and most definitely will be his last. Renicky trying to squeeze one more out of him. And that'll be a successful day at the office if he can get through the 5th.
Everybody talking about, the job by Francisco Rodriguez. How about Manny Parra in the 8th inning yesterday? A couple of strikeouts, a ground out to second base. Had Manny Parra struggled early on in that inning, I mean, the Brewers would have had to empty out their bullpen. But that wasn't the case. Did a nice job.
There's John Axford from a closer's role to just a relief role. And Renicky was saying that with Manny Parra's success last night, that 3-up, 3-down inning he had with a couple of strikeouts, the fact that Veras was able to throw relatively few pitches, Parra was pretty efficient in his inning, and then K-Rod, of course, finishing it out. There's a strike call. Thornburg drops a hammer on Alan Craig for back-to-back strikeouts.
Have a changeup getting John Jay for the first out, and now the high curveball able to get Alan Craig. That was a curveball right there that Craig hit into left field off of John Axford on Monday night. Took that one for strike 3.
So 2 men are out. Here's David Freese. Curveball strike.
Now Thornburg approaching 100 pitches, so I think Mine Renicky perhaps trying to keep him in there long enough to maybe try and pick up a win today.
Ball and a strike on Freese, who has homered and walked against Thornburg. Fires the bat, fouls the pitch away. That's hard to do. 1-2 to count. A foul ball and a foul bat.
Right at the end of the Cardinals dugout and careening into the stands. And as usual, hitters don't even bother going after the bat. They just get another one.
One of the new rules in baseball, you have to have a second bat ready. So there's no time wasted. Ooh, that didn't miss by much.
Yeah, but still, you would think that if a guy liked the bat, he could still go get it.
Right.
Somebody go get it. Give a fan another one. It's what they used to do.
It's not that important to him anymore.
No, it's not. And back in the old days, they didn't break as much. You get a good bat, you didn't want to lose it.
Now they're like postage stamps. Time now for our AT&T Uverse reverse replay. David Freese homering back in the second inning, the first Cardinal run. His 14th of the year. He has destroyed Brewer pitching. Go back to the prior to last season, all through the playoffs. Thornburg missed down and in, and Freese is aboard. Boy, he didn't miss by much.
No, tough pitch to take. That's one of the reasons why he hit 375. Could have just as easily been a strikeout, and that's going to be it for Tyler Thornburg.
So Renicky was just trying to squeeze one more out of him, but now in the danger zone here, and he will go to the bullpen. It's going to be John Axford, and it's going to be interesting to see how Axford steps into this situation. Good hand for Thornburg on his way out. Granite's wanted to leave Thornburg out there to try to put himself in a position to win. Thornburg has to exit after 4 2/3. The pitch count really was the concern for the Brewers, and pushing 100, Thornburg is out, having surrendered 2 earned runs. A chat with his manager.
It was a good job. He gave up the solo home runs, but was able to settle down in the 4th and the 5th. And a close call to David Freese. Ended up being a walk, not a strikeout, so will not be able to pick up a win here today.
So here is John Axford in his new role. And as he said yesterday when he met with the media, you know, I had my opportunity to close games and I hope to be back there again, but whatever it takes to help the ball club right now is what I'm ready to do, whether it be an inning here or there to pitch in the 5th inning, the 6th inning, or multiple innings.
And mid-game opportunities, a good opportunity for him to just relax and go out there and throw his pitches. Wouldn't be surprised to see Axford come out for the 6th.
Brewers have already cleared the spot in the batting order as Thornburg made the last out in the 4th inning. Tying run is at the plate.
That's a good curveball right there with 2 strikes. That's the nemesis pitch for John Axford, throwing that curveball for strikes.
Two and 2 to Berkman. Berkman is 0 for 1. He walked his last time up. Thornburg finishes with 5 strikeouts in 4 2/3. A tough lineup to get through, even with Matt Holliday and Carlos Beltran not in the starting lineup. So the count goes full, and David Freese will get a head start at first base. And a swing and a miss. Axford strikes him out. 97-mile-an-hour heat finishes Thornburg's day with 2 earned runs in 4 2/3. To the bottom of the 5th we go. 4-2 Milwaukee. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Great to have you with us today. Matinee baseball from Miller Park. Final game of the homestand. And wrapping up a series with the Cardinals, the 3rd series of the year with St. Louis. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder, Telly Hughes, Chris Withers, and Kevin Shank in the truck. A little tapper to the mound. Wainwright takes care of Aoki, and he looks like he is locked in now. Adam Wainwright just plowing through the Brewers batting order, retiring 7 straight. A reminder that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Brewers and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Brewers Baseball Club. Nyjer Morgan with 1 away. 7 in a row retired by Wainwright. And 11 out of the last 12. And during that stretch, he has 5 strikeouts At one point, he'd struck out 5 consecutive Brewers. Morgan into center field, hit pretty well. Backing up is Jay. And there is out number 2.
And the Brewers had a golden opportunity to add another run on in the 3rd inning. And at 3rd, nobody out. 3 consecutive punch outs. When that guy gives you an opportunity to put a run on the board, you have to take advantage of it, because this Cardinals offense is going to just continue to come at you. They score a lot of runs. This is the Adam Wainwright that the Brewers have seen over and over again.
Ramirez again swinging at the first pitch, again delivers with a base hit. It's the 2nd time he's done it. He hit a curveball for a double in the 3rd. Got a fastball this time. And he is aboard for the 3rd time today against Wainwright.
Nothing wrong with that elbow, that's for sure. Wainwright getting a little bit too much of the plate with that pitch. It's a ground ball, but able to sneak it into center field. Only 3 fly ball outs issued by Adam Wainwright so far today. Ground balls and strikeouts.
Wainwright, among National League pitchers, is 5th in ground ball percentage, as Hart sends one to center, playable for Jay, and a quick inning for Adam Wainwright. Brewers do get a hit. They strand a runner. 5 in the books, so 4-2 Brewers. On the mound, he'll start his 2nd inning work at the final out of the 5th inning. Well, Packers training camp starts soon, and Paul Emick is analyzing one of the team's positions each weekday leading up to its start of practices. Check out the linebacker preview right now. You can catch up with the rest of the series at foxsportswisconsin.com. Some news and notes around Major League Baseball. Roy Halladay is back off the disabled list. Last night against the Dodgers went 5 innings, a couple of earned runs. And Kevin Youkilis returning to Fenway Park. He had 3 hits in his first game, and he had a 3-run homer last night in the White Sox win. And Robinson Cano has extended a hitting streak to 21 for the freight train that is the New York Yankees.
22 games over 500 on the Yankees. They've won 8 out of 10.
Yankees have the best record in baseball and 9.5 games up on the Rays. The Rangers in the American League are 55-35, and they are 5.5 up on the Angels. Yankees are 1 game better than the Rangers on the record. The other division leader in the AL, the White Sox, Kevin Youkilis' White Sox, and they are 10 over and 3.5 games up on the Tigers. I'm looking forward to the next series here at Miller Park. The Nationals will be here. I've seen them this year earlier on a national broadcast, but they'll be appearing in Milwaukee for the first time, and Brewers haven't seen them. This is quite a ball club, the Nationals. Bryce Harper, Steven Strasburg.
Well, they can pitch, no doubt about that. Scoring some runs. Ian Desmond, their shortstop.
Who's an all-star this year.
He's something else.
And the Nationals have the best record in the National League. I say I had seen the Nationals, but that game was at Nationals Park. And you know how high that booth is?
Yeah.
I was told the Nationals were on the field.
You saw the Nationals through the monitor.
It's just a bunch of ants.
Yeah. Brewers are going to be in Washington for 4 games.
Molina lines out for the first out of the inning as Axford picks up out number 1 of the 6th.
And speaking of the Nationals, the Brewers take on the Nationals on Sunday, July 29th. All fans in attendance get a Bob Uecker bobblehead, compliments of Time Warner Cable. For tickets, call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com. In a Milwaukee Braves uniform with the catching gear.
With the red shin guards. I guess the gear didn't have to match back then. Did your gear always match?
They didn't have
Rob?
matching catching gear back then. It was the orange and the black.
Oh, so the red shin guards are a fabrication?
It's not legit.
Oh, not authentic.
No.
That's unfortunate.
It's all they made back then. I'm not
Orange,
sure when
the
they,
orange and the black.
I'm not sure when they started to color up all the catching gear, but it's a good idea. Make a fashion statement back there.
Right off the end of the bat, Matt Carpenter with his second hit.
I remember back in my days with the Brewers. Remember Charlie O'Brien,
Yes.
catcher? He had a set of catching gear all yellow.
Really?
Everything yellow. Chest protector, mask, shin guards.
He wanted to be visible to the pitcher.
Glow in the dark.
I remember for a while the gloves that came out, probably in your era, with the orange, the blaze orange padding.
I wore those. I used those. Caught the no-hitter with one of those catcher's mitts.
Nice. You remember when you first got that mitt? I mean, the idea was that the pitcher was able to pick it up better, right?
First guy that I remember using that was Lance Parrish. That's the second day in a row we've had a Lance Parrish mention.
Yeah. Every day is a good day when you get the big wheel in a broadcast.
Had the black glove, the fluorescent orange, as a member of the Tigers.
Fly ball to Morgan. And there is out number 2 for Axford.
Back in the old days with the catching gear, the orange and black, and they had the chest protector with the little thing that went down there between the legs. I don't know why they ever got rid of that.
The cutout.
Right. A little extra protection.
Yeah.
That was an innovation that didn't really make any sense. So eliminate that.
Wainwright bounces to short. Bianchi makes the play to second. Good inning for Axford. Hitting it a third for John Axford, as a matter of fact. No runs. reminding you to please play responsibly. And by the new Miller Lite Punch Top Can. It's Miller time. On our way to the bottom of the 6th from Miller Park. Ricky Weeks ready to lead off. Had a decisive home run in yesterday's game. It came early, as a matter of fact. Ricky Weeks in the bottom of the 4th inning with his 9th home run on the Powerball home run count. And that gave the Brewers the lead, and it was a lead that they would not relinquish. So Weeks in the top 4 now on the Powerball home run leaderboard. Everybody chasing Braun, who has 26. And that still leads the National League, as a matter of fact. Ryan Braun's 26 homers. Some big bats out of the lineup today for both teams. No Ryan Braun, no Matt Holliday, no Carlos Beltran for the St. Louis Cardinals. We got a good game going. 4-2. The Brewers have the lead. 4 first-inning runs. Only one of them was earned against Wainwright in the first inning. The Cardinals committed 3 errors in the inning. St. Louis had solo homers from Freese and Craig. Wainwright still out there as we play in the home 6th. And more first pitch swinging by the Brewers.
Yeah, that first pitch fastball, the Brewers are not messing around. They're not letting that pitch go by. Don't have to go after that curveball and cutter from Adam Wainwright. Curveball has not made a mistake yet with that pitch. He's kept every curveball that he's thrown today down. And because the Brewers have been attacking early, he's only at 70 pitches right now.
With nobody out in the 6th inning. Start play in the 6th. Got Weeks, Maldonado, and Gomez coming up. Weeks was in the middle of a key stretch for Wainwright. Brewers had a runner at 3rd and nobody out in the 3rd inning. And Wainwright struck out Hart, Weeks, and Maldonado to end the threat. Brewers came up empty. In the air right center, John Jay wants it. And there is out number 1. You know, some big names going on the disabled list. All-stars. All of them on the DL, or rather injured or on the DL recently. Joey Votto went on the DL with a knee injury. He's going to be out a month. Jose Bautista on the disabled list, a left wrist injury. Saw Ortiz injure his Achilles on the disabled list. And of course Ryan Braun, not on the DL, but out of today's game. Left yesterday's game. Maldonado pops up a bunt for an easy 2nd out.
Can't remember a year where more big time named players on the disabled list. Pitchers, position players. Roy Halladay just coming back. He threw well.
I think the Votto injury changes the perspective of the Central Division a little bit. Votto is having such a big year. Such a big presence.
Yeah, you lose your number 3 hitter, that's going to hurt you.
Cincinnati starts the day in first place in the division, 1 game up on the Pirates. Reds beat the Diamondbacks yesterday behind Johnny Cueto, who spun a shutout yesterday. Good catch up there. Hoping the little guy doesn't throw it back. Two outs for Gomez. 1 ball, 2 strikes on him. Wainwright has 5 strikeouts thus far, or 7, I beg your pardon, and can add 1 more to it. 3 up, 3 down. Wainwright's rolling. Brewers still lead it 4-2. We go to the 7th. brought to you by Toyota. Corey Hart had a big hit in the first inning. 2 RBI single off Wainwright. There were some errors in the inning. 2-on-1 play that led to 2 runs. The Cardinals on a David Freese homer and an Alan Craig homer cut the deficit to 2. And Wainwright has found it on the mound. Wainwright has 8 strikeouts now. He's only given up 1 base runner since the 3rd inning. John Axford gave Ron Roenicke an inning and a third today of scoreless baseball. And now Manny Parra, flying high after one of his best performances out of the bullpen of his career, is back out there once again today.
He had 3 up, 3 down yesterday in the 8th inning, including a couple of strikeouts. And Manny Parra is going to have to deal with the top of this Cardinals batting order with a 2-run lead.
I'm not sure I've ever seen Parra command all 3 pitches like he did yesterday. The fastball, the curveball, and the splitter.
Yeah, the way he pitched John Jay last night with one curveball after another for strikes. Very impressive.
And that was in a 1-run game in the 8th inning. Parra worked a 1-2-3 inning, including a strikeout of Carlos Beltran to end the inning. He immediately falls behind Rafael Furcal. 4-2 Brewers. Cardinals with the top of their batting order in the 7th. And it's 3-0.
Nice effort by John Axford here today. Inning in the 3rd. Throwing all of his pitches for strikes. Good step forward for John.
There's a strike on for call. Axford struck out Berkman to end the 5th inning and then had a scoreless 6th. The Brewers hang on to win this game, and without surrendering the lead, he's the likely candidate for the victory as Furcal draws the walk. And Parra right away brings a tying run to the plate. Different story last night, though. Parra was on top of his game last night in the 8th inning of a 3-2 Brewers lead.
Yep, throwing a lot of strikes. He gets Alan Craig on a split-fingered fastball. Carlos Beltran on the same to end the inning, and in between those 2 strikeouts, a ground ball to second.
Took him just 15 pitches to get through the Cardinals batting order. Well, he's got his work cut out for him now. Right in the middle of that order, John Jay batting second with Furcal at first. There's that hook. That's the pitch that made the difference for Parra yesterday.
I mean, you got to figure, Jay might be up there looking for that pitch in this situation. Of course, didn't swing at it on the first pitch. How could you not, right? All the curveballs that Manny threw to him in last night's game.
It's always been a touchy pitch for Parra. When he was a starting pitcher, typically his starts went as his curveball went. He's always been blessed with a great fastball, and he has that swing and miss split finger pitch, but getting ahead of the count and getting into a position to throw that splitter as a chase pitch is the key for Manny Parra.
And just about all the trouble that he gets into are either walks or hits on a fastball. Very rarely, if ever, do they hit the splitter.
Parra missed all of last season. And just like Wainwright, been searching for that consistent command. 2-2 to Jay. Full count to John Jay. Ideally, the Brewers would have started Manny Parra in the minor leagues, let him get some innings and work his way through it, but he was out of options. Still is. So they had to put him on the big league roster, and he's just had to figure it out at this level, which is not always easy. Swing and a miss. And for Call, steals second on the strikeout.
Martin Maldonado thinking that he might get an interference call from John Jay, a swing and a miss. But he didn't throw it. He never touched him. It doesn't matter where the hitter is. He walks across home plate, but he never touches him. You got to go ahead and make the throw and run into him, and then you might get a call.
Maybe fall down, get into your theatrical background a little bit.
Yeah, guy gets a great jump. You might even, force contact, maybe fall into him. You might get lucky.
Well, it's a steal for Call. And here is Alan Craig now with one away. Thornburg struck out 5, Axford 1, and now Parra has a punch out. Strike. Craig homered in the 3rd inning. A solo shot. It came with 2 outs. One of 2 runs Thornburg allowed in 4 2/3 innings. I guess the bottom line for the Brewers is you look at the scoreboard right now. They're in the late innings. They have a lead on a day when Zach Greinke was supposed to pitch, was scratched from his start and bumped back to next Tuesday in Philadelphia. So they've been able to cover what was the concern.
Yeah, and Ryan Braun out of the lineup. Able to get 4 in the 1st, and so far it's been able to hold up.
Parra has him down 0-2. And Maldonado keeps it in front. There was one year when Parra was a starting pitcher where he led the league in wild pitches. That split finger fastball that goes hand in hand with wild pitches.
Yep.
Just like it does strikeouts. Text question today, courtesy of Ho Chunk Gaming, from Corinne. She's asking, who do you think the Brewers will use as Francisco Rodriguez's setup man?
A number of different guys. I mean, Ron Renicky has said he's going to use a rotation of Veras and Cameron Lowe and Manny Parra. Because Manny Parra can give you multiple innings. You might see Manny get, if he's able to get through the 7th inning unscathed, get him out there again. Especially since the bullpen is a bit short.
Now Renicki's saying it'd be all about the matchups moving forward. And if somebody emerges in that role, it will not be as he had it with K-Rod setting up in Axford in the 9th. There's a swing and a miss, and Parra strikes out Alan Craig.
You get 2 strikes on the hitter, and they're going to swing at that pitch a lot. But if a hitter is got the count in his favor, 2-1, 3-1, they're not going to give that pitch a second thought. With 2 strikes, much different, and that's why that pitch is so effective.
It's a great shot on our Exmo camera how that pitch tumbles into the dirt. David Freese.
Reverse rotation.
Freese representing the tying run, and he fouls one away. Late on the fastball was Freese.
This guy hasn't made too many outs in this series. Base hits, walks. He's made what, 2 outs?
Yeah, Freese, yeah, that's right. Yesterday, Freese was 3 for 4. He has not been retired today. 2 walks and a home run. And that one is hit high in the air, right field. Back is Aoki at the wall. He's got it. Yikes. David Freese, a long, loud out. Would have tied it had it gone over. But it's an out, and the inning is over.
Had a lot of people tweet in on our Twitter account at FS Wisconsin, getting ready for our trip up to the Dells this weekend while the Brewers go to Cincinnati. We will be at Marley's doing Brewers Live pre and post game on Friday night, and then Noah's Ark on Saturday and Sunday, our traditional run to the water park up there on the second half of the weekend. So looking forward to all the action coming up this weekend. 2 road trips, I guess, all in one, guys.
2 and 1, and we'll have it all covered for you. Always a great time out at the Dells, and say hello to our friends at Wisconsin Dells.
We'll be in Cincinnati without bathing suits, though.
That's right. Slow roller toward third. Freese retires Bianchi,
which is probably a good thing.
Yeah, that's better. Craig will represent us well on the slide.
Oh, he's a big fan of the water slides.
Right.
Remember he had the stomach cam a couple of years ago?
Yes, I do. I thought we called it abs cam, though. Stomach cam. Boiler cam.
See? I was trying to be nice.
Here's Travis Ishikawa pinch hitting for Manny Parra. Thornburg started, Axford an inning and a third, and Parra a scoreless 7th.
Adam Wainwright pitching at dandy here today. 81 pitches. 1 out in the 7th inning.
His defense let him down in the first. That's why he's behind. 3 St. Louis errors in the first inning. Ishikawa takes a ball, and it's 3-1 on Travis. Pinch hitting for Manny Parra. Looking ahead to the Cardinal 8th, Lance Berkman, Yadier Molina, then Matt Carpenter, and it looks like it's going to be Cameron Lowe. Actually, Jose Veras has started to throw in the bullpen now as well, so perhaps Veras will have the 8th.
Yep. Cameron Lowe was up when Manny Parra was pitching in the 7th. If he had any problems, it was going to be Lowe, but now it's going to be Barrett.
Strike called. Ishikawa is rung up as Wainwright threads the needle on the inside corner for his 9th strikeout. Well, Manny Parra, back-to-back games, Rock. Very impressive performance.
Well, leadoff walk was just never a good thing, but back-to-back strikeouts. John Jay, Alan Craig on the split-fingered fastball, and then David Freese just missed one to right field. Our Pizza Hut delivered the game.
2 outs for Nori Aoki. Wainwright has just 86 pitches as he works here in the 7th inning. Four runs, 3 unearned in the first for Milwaukee, and that has been it against Wainwright. 2 errors by the shortstop for Call, who's committed 3 in the last 2 games. Aoki skies one out to John Jay, and Adam Wainwright. Another 3 up, 3 down inning. We go to the 8th, 4-2 Brewers.
Friday night. Looks like a great night for baseball. Just a few clouds around. Temperatures will be settling into the mid-70s before the game is done.
All right, Mark, thanks. And our Miller Lite What's on Tap as the Brewers try to complete a series win today. You see, Friday the Brewers are in Cincinnati. Off day tomorrow. 3-game series with the Reds beginning Friday. 5:30 airtime for Friday and Saturday's game, and then it's a day game Sunday. And the pitching matchups, at least the probables, have been issued. It'll be Marco Estrada and Homer Bailey. Gallardo against Bronson Arroyo, and then Mike Fiers against Johnny Cueto. Reds are pitching well. They're playing well. Jose Veras will have the 8th today. Brewers lead 4-2. Cardinals will have Berkman, Molina, and Carpenter coming up.
And Bear's done a nice job keeping the baseball in the ballpark. 43rd appearance. He's allowed just the 3 home runs. Retired the only batter that he faced last night. He stranded a couple of inherited runners in the 7th inning. That was Rafael Furcal.
Well, Jose Veras moves into that setup role today after Parra works a scoreless 7th. And Ron Renicky using John Axford to bridge the gap to the late innings after Tyler Thornburg was taken out after 4 2/3. Lance Berkman. He was up in a big spot in the 5th. Axford struck him out, representing the tying run.
Well, you never know when he's going to start getting locked in again. He was out for a couple of months, did not go on any rehab, so he went from the disabled list to big league pitching. His struggles will not last forever.
I think the Cardinals were hoping he would go down on a minor league rehab and at least get some at bats. But Berkman well within his rights to say he Did not want to go on a minor league rehab. He felt like he could help the ball club right now. And his starts will come sporadically until that knee heals a little bit or gets back into playing shape. It is healed. But you think about Berkman, you know, when he first injured that knee and he knew he had torn something, he thought it was an ACL and he thought it was a season-ending injury. But that wasn't the case. Once they got in there and they checked the knee out, it looked like it wasn't as much damage as they originally thought, and then Berkman was able to return. He returned Saturday to the active roster, made his first start Sunday, and now making his second start today.
It's just not, you know, the at-bats that you get down in the minor leagues. It's conditioning somewhat. It's, you know, the ability to play defensively. The defense, you know, by Berkman in the first inning, you know, hurt the Cardinals.
Berkman was ejected from last night's game as he takes one just off the plate. It didn't matter at the time because he had already pinch hit and he wasn't going to stay in to play defense, so it didn't affect anything but the pocketbook. Two and two to Berkman. And the count goes full now. Brewers feel fortunate they're in the lead right now. The way Wainwright is pitching, it doesn't feel like the Brewers are in the lead. But they scored 4 in the first on 3 Cardinal errors. And the pitching has been able to keep this heavy hitting ball club to just 2 runs at this point. That one missed inside. Boy, close pitches.
Yeah, Todd Tichenor not willing to ring up Berkman. We saw that. David Freese early in the ball game on very good pitches. That would look like it might have been off the corner, but the one before that, that was the good pitch on the outside corner. That wasn't called. That one inside.
So Maldonado reached back across his body. Well, once again, the tying run is at the plate. Yadier Molina. Molina is 0 for 3, hit one sharply his last time up. And Vera struts him with a curveball. Got a chance to turn it. Bianchi, Weeks, Hart, 6-4-3 double play. Just what Veras was looking for.
And he had the perfect guy at the plate to get that double play. The 7th double play that Molina has grounded into this year. Cardinals in general ground into a lot of double plays. Our Home Depot doing more on defense. That's what you call a room service double play. Neither guy runs all that well. Berkman just pulls up, kind of peels off. And Molina not even making much of an attempt to get the first.
2 outs with 1 swing of the bat. And now Matt Carpenter. Carpenter has 2 hits today. Singled against Thornburg, and then he had a single against Axford. The only hit that Axford allowed. Axford would be the pitcher in line for the win if the Brewers can finish off the Redbirds. One ball, 1 strike on Matt Carpenter. 1-2, big cut. Skips away from Maldonado. Veras is always in that tweener role between his fastball and his curveball. Every now and then he'll throw a changeup, especially the lefties. Last year with the Pirates, he was a successful setup man for Joe Hanrahan, the all-star closer of the Pirates. 2-2.
When he needs an out, he needs a strikeout. He's going to usually goes with the curveball, which is probably what he's going to throw here. 3-2. Just about every time you're going to see Veras go with that hook. I think he has more confidence in throwing that pitch for a strike than his fastball.
I think you're right. Even though he does have a good fastball, good velocity, with a lot of movement. But his bread and butter is his curveball. And a swing and a miss. He powered a fastball right by him. Jose Veras, a scoreless 8, faces 3 batters. And we go to the bottom of the 8th with the Brewers still in the lead.
As we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, but our Marshfield shining moment right now centers on John Axford coming in the relief in the 5th inning, pitching into the 6th as well, Jerry. Not used to seeing him in that role, but right now, this is the spot to gain his confidence back. What'd you think?
Well, there's no question. You know, Ax, he knows what he has to do to get back. But the 2 things I really liked about him tonight were, number 1, bring him in the game when in the middle of an inning, having him put a little pressure on him, comes in, strikes out Berkman. But secondly, using his pitches, throwing that breaking ball for strikes, and really locating that fastball well today.
So John Axford, as Brian mentioned a moment ago, in line to get a victory here today. The Brewers batting here in the 8th, still a little ways to go. But so far, so good. The bullpen's done a nice job helping out Tyler Thornburg, and that big 4-run first. The Brewers taking advantage of 3 errors as well. We'll cover it all Brewers live here from the players inside the clubhouse, and Ron Renicky, as well as our instructional, Brian.
All right, Craig and Augie, thank you. And a man making his Major League debut here. Trevor Rosenthal, just promoted from Double-A Springfield in the Texas League, facing Nyjer Morgan to start it. Rosenthal has a big fastball. He said he touched triple digits this spring and was one of the best pitchers that the Cardinals had this spring training as an invite to spring or on the Major League roster.
He made 17 starts down in Double-A, 8-6 record at 278 earned run average. Big time strikeout totals for this young man. 5th best in all the Texas League.
Rosenthal just 22 years of age. And a Missouri native. He's from Lee's Summit, Missouri. Nothing wrong with his arm. 98 miles an hour, and that was effortless heat from Trevor Rosenthal. Morgan leading off, and there's ball 4. So Morgan is aboard. Leadoff base runner. The Brewers could use some runs here. They're up 2. Ramos Ramirez at the plate, presented by Wendy's. He was hit by a pitch in his first at bat, and then on the first pitch in the 3rd he doubled. On the first pitch in the 5th he singled. Wainwright did not retire him today. He's one of the few that had some success against Adam Wainwright. Corey Hart had a 2 RBI single in the 1st inning. And again on the first pitch, Aramis Ramirez finding holes. What a day.
Yeah, how many pitches has he seen? He got hit by what? The 3rd pitch. He got hit by an 0-2 pitch. That's 3. 6 pitches today.
And has 3 hits and a hit by pitch.
Yeah. And not necessarily all strikes either. Rosenthal gives him a fastball down the middle, but around the knees, and he goes down and gets it and finds the hole in the left field.
Now that hit for Ramos Ramirez pushes his batting average to 278. A remarkable rise for Ramos Ramirez, considering where he began. Now Corey Hart, he tries to drop a bunt down. Not easy to bunt 99 miles an hour.
Man, he did that on his own. He's trying to advance the base runners. I think if Ryan Reddick had his druthers, he'd rather have him swing away.
Especially with no Ryan Braun in the lineup today. Hard hitting in the cleanup spot. 2 on, nobody out.
I guess if you're the manager, you always have your druthers, don't you? I mean, if he doesn't have his druthers, who does?
Yeah. Everybody has druthers. You've got them. He's got them.
They don't matter. It's his. Those are the only ones that count.
Well, you know, the Butterflies have to be churning for Rosenthal, pitching for his hometown team in his major league debut. And he zips one in there for strike 3. 100 miles an hour. Strikes out Corey Hart. I wonder if it calms the Butterflies when you can throw in triple digits a little.
It certainly calms the Butterflies after you get your first out. You make your major league debut. You come in from Double-A and walk the first guy, give up a base hit. You're thinking, uh-oh, this is the big leagues, and then you get a strikeout. That will calm you down.
And threw the baseball out. We'll save that ball. The Cardinals drafted Rosenthal in the 21st round out of Cowley County Community College in Arkansas City, Kansas. And he got started right away at 09 as a 19-year-old. Weeks into the right center field gap. That is going to be run down by Alan Craig. Cardinals had him squeezed in the gaps, both Jay and Craig, and that defensive positioning paid off as Weeks hit that one sharply.
Ricky thinking opposite field, but Rosenthal able to get in on his hands and kind of hung up there for Craig, was able to make the catch.
Well, 2 on, now 2 outs. And here is Martin Maldonado. As of right now, it's a save situation, and Francisco Rodriguez is loosening in the bullpen. There's K-Rod after a save last night, just his second as a Brewer. K-Rod, it will be his 4th straight game and 5 games in 6 days. Never one to turn down the ball, though, especially in a save situation.
Right, and especially with tomorrow off for Milwaukee. Everybody gets a day off tomorrow.
Two balls and a strike on Maldonado. That one missed. 3-1. John Axford in an unfamiliar position in the dugout after an inning and a third today. Inning and a third scoreless.
And usually when he's standing right there, it's extra innings.
Full count to Maldonado. Another big fastball from Rosenthal. Rosenthal was a starter in Double-A. Showed good command down there as well. For a guy who throws 100.
Guy who throws 100 and he was drafted in the 21st round. How does that happen?
Out of a tiny community college.
100 miles an hour?
Go figure, right? Perhaps more to the story.
Right.
3-2 pitch. Runners go, and Maldonado fouls it back.
Of course, same thing happened to Billy Wagner.
Yeah, from Ferrum College in Virginia.
Left-handed, threw 100.
Cardinals brought him up to big league camp this spring, and he was one of the more dominant pitchers in the spring for the Cardinals. Prior to that, he was a bit of an unknown. But 100 is 100. And those guys tend to get plenty of opportunities to prove they can pitch. He's thrown 19 pitches. 17 of those have been 95 plus. Runners will take off again. 3-2 the count. And Maldonado takes ball 4. Bases loaded. Mike Matheny on his way to the mound. A lot of experience behind the plate with these two guys, huh? Matheny and Molina. For a young pitcher.
Yeah, both of them tough as nails. Mike Matheny, nobody tougher in baseball that I can ever remember.
Victor Marte is ready just in case, but Matheny will stick with Rosenthal.
With as hard as Carlos Gomez swings, it'd be interesting to see if he's able to center up on one. Big swing and 100 miles an hour. Might end up in Lake Michigan.
Gomez with the bases loaded. Brewers a chance to bust it open here in the bottom of the 8th. 4-2 Milwaukee. Nigel Morgan led the inning off with a walk. Ramirez a hit. Maldonado just walked. Well, that ball jumps out of his hand. Trevor Rosenthal.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's really expending much effort, but he is. Nice easy delivery.
One and two on Gomez.
Fastball fairly straight, but you can imagine if he's able to come up with a breaking pitch that he can throw for strikes, a hard slider. It's always the issue for a guy that throws that hard, coming up with something else.
Never had a grand slam, Carlos Gomez. He'd settle for a base hit here. Brewers lead by 2. And Gomez had a better swing, hangs in there on a fastball at 98. Through his minor league career, Rosenthal has a strikeout per inning pitch. 270 innings, 272 strikeouts. And Gomez sends one to left field, hooking. Foul. Almost.
There's that breaking ball we've been wondering about, and that's maybe why you haven't seen many of them. Kind of casted it up there, left it up. Gomez just couldn't wait back long enough.
One ball, 2 strike on Gomez, and he swings and misses. Molina blocks, and that's it. So Rosenthal survives his major league debut. A scoreless inning, strands of bases loaded. Here we go to the 9th. It'll be K-Rod once again. A save opportunity in front of him. Brewers lead 4-2. And it comes down to the 9th inning once again. A lot of close ball games here in this homestand. And it's going to be Francisco Rodriguez looking for his 3rd career Brewers save. His 3rd of the season. 293 career saves for Frankie Rodriguez, our Columbia St. Mary save tracker. And he will face Skip Schumacher to start it off, and then Carlos Beltran, who will pinch hit next, and then back to the top of the order. Rodriguez pitching in his 4th consecutive game in 5 out of 6. And how much does he has left or have left will be the question. Schumacher started at second base and is 1 for 3 today. His lone hit came against Tyler Thornburg.
K-Rod did a very good job last night of throwing strikes, getting ahead in the count, particularly after the first 2 runners reached.
One and two on Schumacher.
So good velocity after 4 days in a row, including today. 93 miles an hour with the fastball.
has the luxury that the Brewers have somebody of Francisco Rodriguez's career and caliber to close games, as Axford faltered. Seems to get better when men are on base. Unfortunately, it is torture on the fans. Had 2 on to start the inning yesterday and got out of it. Pulled the Houdini act to save the game for the Brewers with the tying run at third base and nobody out yesterday in the ninth. 2-2 to Schumacher. And he lays off. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
These guys don't chase too much. Talked about that early in the game. I mean, you got to throw them strikes. See, with 2 strikes. Every now and again they'll chase.
Schumacher was the key out in yesterday's game for K-Rod. He struck him out. Schumacher not chasing so far. There's one right down the heart. K-Rod with a fastball punches out Skip Schumacher for the first out.
Man, that one had a little bit of movement on it. Little 2-seamer. 91 miles an hour. Splits home plate right in half. Schumacher looked as though he thought that was going to be ball 4, but with some late movement, that rung up.
That is 2 big strikeouts of Skip Schumacher in the last 2 days. Now Beltran pinch hitting. Only started 1 game in this series. And K-Rod starts him with a strike. These 2 teammates with the Mets. They know each other well. Mike Matheny saying Beltran's been dealing with some fatigue. Had a great first half. Went to the All-Star game as a starter. And out of the starting lineup twice in this series. That one smoked into right center. Beltran sends that one to the wall. Takes a bad bounce, and Beltran will settle for a double. Nothing wrong with that stroke.
No. That swing didn't look at it like there's any fatigue. And Rodriguez trying to double up with a fastball, and Beltran down in his zone, able to spank it into right center. The tying run now comes to the plate with the top of the order coming up for St. Louis.
Well, what a swing for Beltran. Having another great year. And he is at second. Rafael Furcal, the batter. Well, Mike Matheny started this game without Beltran and Holiday, which leaves him with 2 big bats off the bench, and look who's standing in the on-deck circle. Holiday had the big hit that tied it on Monday night in the 9th inning with 2 outs and 2 strikes. One and one on Furcal. Don't forget, Brewers Live coming up following the game, and our post-game instructional with Jerry Augustine and Bill Schroeder. You guys are going to be talking about some pitching techniques, right? Grips.
Talking about Manny Parr's split-fingered fastball, the grip, how to throw it. Jerry Augustine, a left-handed pitcher. Who more qualified?
I assume you'll be doing the catching.
Yep.
That makes sense. Ball and a strike on for Call. 2-1. Now the Brewers won 2 out of 3 from the Pirates to start this homestand. Looked like they had a win wrapped up on Monday night before the Cardinals scored 3 with 2 outs to snatch one back. But then Milwaukee bounced back last night and won a thriller. It's coming right down to the end once again. Strike called. Furcal doesn't like it.
Yeah, right at the bottom of the strike zone. Furcal taking on a 2-1 pitch. And Todd Tishner rings it up. You see the reaction of Rafael Furcal. You're not going to do much with that last pitch. You might as well take it.
So 2-2 now. The runner at second, Beltran, a pinch hit double. Tying run at the plate. And that gets away from Maldonado, but Beltran will stay put.
And Maldonado missed it. That looked like the same pitch. Same pitch that was called a strike just before that. But you're not going to get too many called strikes on a pitch that you don't catch. Right off the end of the fingers.
Beltran must not have seen that baseball. It was right in line. And he never attempted to take off to third base. That was that would have been an easy.
Well, if you don't get a good jump on it, why go? You're not. Your run doesn't mean much.
And down 2. Furcal was waving him on, but he didn't go. Now 3-2 on Furcal. And he lost it. And here we go. Furcal is aboard. Man, finishing games has been a challenge. The tying run is aboard now, and Matt Holliday is coming up for St. Louis. Holliday last night in his first at bat with Randy Wolf on the mound was drilled just above the left knee, knocked him out of the game. Unable to start today, but here he is to pinch hit against Rodriguez. 2 on, 1 out. Brewers looking for a double play ball to end this one.
Yeah, so you know he doesn't run well to start with, but even a little bit slower now with that bad thigh. Get one down the zone, get a ground ball. 2 hopper to Bianchi right here.
He's bounced into 9 double plays this year as Holliday. That's a lot. If you're wondering, Holliday's hit streak is still alive because that was his only plate appearance yesterday, and a hitting streak cannot end on a hit by pitch, so he's still sitting on a 15-gamer. On Monday night, he shot one through the hole between first and second for a 2 RBI single that tied the game in the ninth. Bouncing ball, foul past third.
Ricky Weeks playing way up the middle on Matt Holliday. Remember on Monday night, Holliday snuck one in the hole between first and second to score a couple of runs, giving him a lot of room in that hole again today. Because K-Rod doesn't throw nearly as hard as John Axford.
Holliday, an all-star, had an RBI in the all-star game last Tuesday. Had a base hit to right. Game on the line, and it is very quiet here at Miller Park. Oh, close play. Beltran just back.
And the advantage of playing up the middle with your second baseman, you keep that runner at second very close, but Beltran's not the guy they're worried about. It's Furcal with very good speed at first base. That's the guy that Brewers are concerned with. Beltran is not going to get too much off of the bag.
Ready for a 1-1 on Holliday. And a foul tip, strike 2. A ball and 2 strikes on Matt Holliday. Take you back to Monday. This was the moment that gave the Cardinals some life. A base hit, 2 outs, 2 strikes. In the 9th inning, 2 runs scored, and a 2-0 game turned into a 2-2 tie at that point. The next hitter, Alec Craig, singled to give the Cardinals the lead. K-Rod trying to end that hitting streak right here and now. 1-2. We had a good cut and a curveball.
Kind of a double clutch by Holiday, but able to foul it off. Kind of leaning out on his front foot, but kept his hands back. Right there. That's how strong that guy is. Out in front, hands back, but still able to get a piece.
A man who destroys breaking balls. 1-2. 2 on for the Cardinals. Tying run at first. Holiday representing the go-ahead run. Boy, both of these guys are dialed up. Just look at the expression of Holiday and K-Rod. Got him. Holiday strikes out. K-Rod went with the changeup. And Maldonado blocked it very well to keep the runners where they are, and now 2 gone in the inning.
That's not an easy pitch to block either. Holiday would have been out. This ball bounces well in front of home plate. Look at Maldonado, not only able to get in front of it, but keep it right close so that Furcal has to stay at first. If that ball gets by him or squirts away, base runner's able to advance, and a base hit will tie the game. That literally bounced about a foot in front of home plate. Holiday offers at it.
Wow, that's a big out. And K-Rod with 2 strikeouts. He's given up a walk and a double, however. And here is Alan Craig now, who homered in the 3rd inning and had the go-ahead RBI on Monday night. Maldonado's doing a great job back there.
Yes, he is. He caught the last 3 games last night, or 3 innings last night. Somewhat of a day game after a night game. Still very quick with the feet and able to square up and keep it right there.
Well, you think how that changes the inning here. If that gets by him and the runners advance, now a base hit could tie it with runners at 2nd and 3rd. Instead, they remain at 1st and 2nd. One big out to get for Frankie Rodriguez. And the runner goes, and Maldonado doesn't bother.
Let him go. He doesn't mean anything.
Furcal did not run behind Beltran.
Let him do that all day long. It's that guy right there the Brewers are concerned about. Furcal did not get a good jump, so he stayed put.
So that will be a stolen base for Beltran. A little surprised Furcal didn't go behind him. Two balls, no strikes on Craig. Plenty of pop in his bat. Has 14 homers this year. There's a strike. Gave up on it.
Change up. 2-1. Hitter looking fastball. Gives him the change up. Right at the top of the strike zone.
I think he might even fooled his catcher a little bit. Heavy workload for Frankie Rodriguez. Two balls, one strike on Craig. And now it's 3-1.
It's somewhat surprising if Furcal's not trying to steal. Rodriguez very slow to home plate.
On deck is David Freese. But K-Rod has fallen into a hitter's count against Alec Craig. There's the dangerous Freese, who narrowly missed a 2-run game-tying homer his last time up. "20 minutes of terror."
What are we at?
18 minutes. 3 balls and a strike. K-Rod deals, and a foul ball out of play. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Allen Craig. And now they've come to their feet at Miller Park. The Cardinals down to their last strike. Call will get a head start with a pitch. He's the tying run. There he goes. The 3-2 fouled away, and Craig had a huge hack and was right on it.
And fouled it straight back right over the head of Maldonado, which meant he was right on it, but just underneath. Rodriguez has really not been able to throw a breaking pitch for a strike. He's at better command of the changeup in this inning.
Call ready to run. He takes off. 3-2 pitch down in the dirt. Allen Craig draws the walk.
He just can't throw it for strikes.
Bases loaded.
He's missed down there just about every time.
There's been a double and 2 walks to go along with 2 strikeouts. And Mike Matheny is going to send out a pinch runner, Tyler Green, for Allen Craig. Representing the go-ahead run. Tying run now in scoring position. And the Brewer killer, David Freese, is coming up. Over the last 2 seasons, he's been one of the toughest outs the Brewers have had to face.
And be careful right center here. If you pitch him away, you better get it down the zone. Pretty much straight away in the outfield and the infield. Never know where he's going to hit it.
Game on the line. K-Rod against Freese. Nowhere to put him with 2 outs. And ball 1. Pitch count is of concern now as K-Rod working at his 4th consecutive game. 5 out of 6, and he is at 27 pitches. A base hit to the outfield will tie it up. 2-0. And Rick Kranitz is on his way out to the mound. Maybe if nothing else, just to give K-Rod a breather here.
I think this is where you get concerned. The guy pitching 4 days in a row, but Brewers really have no choice. Pushing 30 pitches right now, pretty close, 28. And you have a very good fastball hitter and a fastball count. And nowhere to put him.
There is activity in the Brewers bullpen. Cameron Lowe is loosening. But right now it's K-Rod's game with Freese up. And an anxious crowd of over 37,000 waiting for a result here. 2 balls, no strikes. And a strike. Freese watched it go by. 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yep, right at the bottom of the strike zone again. Todd Tishner calls this one.
Three balls and a strike. Well, Rodriguez has walked 2. Been a lot of heavy counts. 30 pitches. 15 balls, 15 strikes. What does he do with him here? 3-1. And a strike call just clipped the corner. 3-2 now.
David Freese wanting to take the walk. Good pitch by K-Rod. Right at the knees on the black.
And K-Rod still on the tight wire. Runners will go. Tying run at second. Bases loaded for the Cardinals. And the 3-2 pitch. Ball 4, walked him. And the Cardinals are within a run.
He just looks gassed is what he looks like out there.
Third walk of the inning. An RBI for Freese. And decision time for Roenicke.
Can't take him out now. It's his game. He's the closer.
So it'll be Lance Berkman now. Four 3 Brewers. 2 outs in the ninth. Berkman chops one foul past first. Well, Berkman just getting back into the swing of things. And the Brewers are hoping he hasn't quite found his timing yet for one more day. He's never had a hit against K-Rod.
It doesn't matter. I mean, this guy's a pro. I mean, he figures out ways to get things done.
It's only his second start since returning from the DL. There's the tying run for Call. Go ahead run at second. And Berkman pulls another one foul, and it's 0-2.
A couple of curveballs, and Lance Berkman offering him both of them. They got to feel good with Maldonado behind home plate if K-Rod wants to try get a changeup down the strike zone. He's been blocking pitches all day and doing a good job of it.
A little hope returns. Again, the Cardinals down to their last strike. 0-2 to Berkman. Lifts one in the air to left. Nyjer Morgan fighting the sun, but he's there. And that's your ball game. Francisco Rodriguez does the job. He strands the bases loaded. Gives up one. But the Brewers win, and they take the series from the Cardinals. Wipe the brow. John Axford the winner. K-Rod his third save. And the Brewers win it 4-3. Much more still to come. We check in with Craig Coshun. What do you have coming up on Brewers Live, Craig?
Woo-ah! That's what the Brewers will be saying here in just a couple of minutes when we check in with them inside that clubhouse. Also, Ron Roenicke. Boy, K-Rod doing the job 2 days in a row. Was not easy, though. We'll explore how the Brewers won this series when we come back.